Hello and welcome everybody to the Eppendorf Lab channel, your home for experts and knowledge live. My name is Christian, I'm a marketing manager here at Eppendorf, and I will be leading you through the next 30 minutes of our product presentation for our nice new CO2 Incubator shaker CellXpert CS220. At the end of this presentation, we will have a Q&A session here. So if you have any kind of reactions, comments, and especially questions, put them into the form underneath your video, and we will answer as many questions as we have time for at the end of this presentation. Now, I'm not an expert, certainly not. I have to admit I don't know anything, but I brought an expert with me today, which is my colleague Ines Hartmann, application specialist here at Eppendorf, responsible for cell cultivation. So Ines, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, Christian.
Yes, so I suggest we jump right in, right? So Ines, for the CS220, what are the main applications for the device?
So our new device, the CS220, the CellXpert, is part of the CellXpert family. So besides shaking, it comes also with CO2, temperature control, and active humidification. And the target application is mammalian suspension cell culture. Very prominent CHO and HEK cells, for instance, for recombinant protein expression. Also viral vector production in the area of cell and gene therapy, plus also linked very much to our bioprocess. We have pre-culture generation, for instance, or early bioprocess development, such as media optimization. Also, of course, you can cultivate anchorage-depending cells, such as MSCs, other stem cells, which they grow on microcarrier. You, of course, can also grow in our device.
Sounds good. So, and I guess different labs have different requirements regarding placement of the devices in the lab. I can already see here there's a nice storage space that comes with the device. Plenty of space underneath where you can put your flask, platform, and vessels, for example. But what kind of other options do we have for the device?
Yeah, we have different positioning options. So this is my favorite, the storage space, because you can place, for instance, a second platform below or other stuff. This is for one device. If you have 2 or 3 devices, so this is stackable up to 3. We have the feet options. We have 2 feet options, 2 and 9 centimeter. So they both can go with all configurations. So the high feet, 10 centimeter standard, you can go for cleaning below, plus also if you move it for servicing or if you often relocate the device to another lab. And the 2 centimeter is for ergonomic access, more ergonomic access in a triple stack.
Yeah, so
upper
really
device.
Customizable to the demands that people have in the lab.
Exactly.
Speed limitation in the stack, is there any kind of speed limitation?
No, we have 2 different orbits. It's 25 and 50 millimeter and going up to 300 or 250 RPM. And that applies to all devices in a triple stack.
Okay, so no limitations there. That sounds good. So if we look at the device itself, I suggest we start at the user interface because that looks really familiar to me. That's like all the latest Eppendorf devices like cyclers, freezers, bioprocess equipment, for example. Also have the same user interface, so we can see, I can already see temperature, speed, CO2 concentration, and relative humidity. All the set points and current values are here. And I can also see, like on the other devices that we have, historic data. We can look into the parameters of the last couple of hours. Also events, I suppose, like door openings, for example. So what else do we have for the user interface?
Yeah, I mean, all the important are here on the front. So here you have, as you already said, the data logging is integrated, so you can show all the parameters of the device. And maybe I go to the event log shortly. You have all the alarms or any errors or whatever occurred, and you can also filter these events. Of course, you can also export. Here on the side is a USB port. So you can export all data. So I go a little bit into the menu. Here is the export button, chart data, events, operation records from your experiments, for instance, so the performance of the device, and also, if required, system information for service. Other than that, you can set your recurring tasks like maintenance intervals,
reminders,
cleaning
yeah.
intervals, which may also be important, or a refill of a water tank. You have a screen lock here. Plus also, if you want not everybody doing everything, you can give it restricted access by the user management.
Yeah, especially if you have trainees in the lab. That sounds good. One thing my colleagues from the Visionize teams reminded me of is that we have a special offer for the Visionize Lab Suite, which you can see here on the screen. It's a limited time offer for the Visionize Lab Suite Sample Safety Plus. So for those of you who are not familiar with the system, our Visionize Lab Suite system is a lab monitoring system. You can do asset management with it and also instrument alert notification. So what's included in that 1-year free subscription for the CS220, it's all the items of the basic plan. So for example, real-time monitoring and remote updates. You can also get instant SMS alert notifications in addition to email if you want that. You get access to the data for 90 days. There's also response-based alarm escalation and an audit trail. So if you're interested in the device, also check out the Visionize Lab Suite Sample Safety Plus special offer. Coming back to the device, one thing I realized when I looked at this for the first time was the new design compared to let's say older Eppendorf devices, also including the silver here. And what is that? What is hidden behind this silver cover here, Ines?
Yeah, we had it already. Maybe you know our old device, our smaller brother device, let's say.
Oh yes, true.
The New Brunswick S41i. That's where we place the drive. So the drive for the agitation is placed outside the chamber to not have any influence on the chamber environment and also to not cause any vibrations there. Plus also this is a drawer, so service, not the customer, can open this and get the drawer out for easy servicing.
Mm-hmm. So the drive wheel is also down there, or?
It's all down there. We will also have maybe take a look in the chamber.
I will be patient then.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's the same drive that we use for other devices like the
Innova Eppendorf X
right?
drive.
So a heavy-duty drive.
Heavy-duty drive, longevity, because it's a huge
drive.
device for also 5-liter large vessel, large volume cultivation. So we have longevity, robust drive here.
Okay. All right. Also, when we look outside, I realized there's water tank here, also tubing system. I suppose it's a humidification system. So what is there to say about the humidification system, Ines?
Exactly. That is the new thing compared to our S41i. This comes with active humidification. So the S41i has water trays, so it evaporates. Also good, but active humidification has real control. So you have a sensor inside and you can set here on the display. So you have the value also on the display. Mostly it's 80%, one set, and you have active control.
So it's limited to 85%, you said?
85%.
Okay. And I guess one of the advantages is less contamination risk or a lower contamination risk before?
Exactly. So in our feedback from customers, we heard water trays are a little bit more prone to contamination. You have to change, but also the active control, that it really is a safety to be at 85%. Yeah.
So how does it work then? There's water, there's a pump on the side, and
yes, you fill it up with 5-liter capacity with water, and then it gets pumped into the device. Here is a heating cartridge which heats up the water, and then it's spread into the device like hygienic steam humidification. Yes.
And basically to avoid evaporation, I guess, for
yes. Mammalian cells grow not like bacteria like a day, so it's long experiments. So evaporation is an issue. For this, it's important to have humidification for mammalian cells.
Okay, and how is condensation then avoided inside? Because I guess condensation, contamination is a real issue with this whole water inside the chamber topic. So how is that avoided then inside?
every humidity, high humidity can cause humidification when you have temperature differences. We have from the CellXpert our knowledge, the CellXpert C120i, so our incubator, where we already optimized this six-sided direct heating concept. Plus also we have, if the value exceeds the 85%, so we have a dehumidification function. I'm not sure if you see it in the back. There is a pump and that soaks air inside if it's going too high at exceeding the 85%. Here's also a HEPA filter that it only gets clean air inside.
Yeah, okay. But six-sided heating means door is included, or?
Door is included. You have also a heated window and...
okay, nice. So you avoid any kind of cold spots inside where you have possible...
multiple temperature sensors and wiring.
Multiple temperature sensors, okay. Right. One general question that I think we got in the past very often is, how long does it last? The water tank, roughly, of course, depends on how many times you open the door and...
Yes, it's depending on the configuration. You can have one tank for up to 3 devices, then hang it to the top one, and it takes 2 to 3 or even more weeks. So some weeks, of course, make sure also to clean it in between. You can autoclave the tank, and removing here the tank is very easy. So you see here is a holder. I think it's a nice option to hang it on the side.
It's an option, okay. You can also, depending on the lab configuration, also leave it out, put the tank somewhere else, right? Yeah,
you can also just have the water supply kit, and the holder is optional, but as it's sitting nicely on the side,
I would say, yes, definitely.
It's quite convenient.
So I think that's it from the outside. I suggest we take a look inside, right?
Yes, we can do.
Just stop it for a second, the shaking, and then open the door.
I do?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I open it.
So I guess glide-up door looks familiar to all the other shakers that we have, or most of them, I would say. So I know that there are other devices on the market where the door folds to the front here. So what would you say is the advantage of having a glide-up door?
Yeah, the advantage is that you have very good access to the chamber. So especially as a large device, you handle a lot of samples, and quick access to the sample, even without, we come to it, I think, next, sliding out, is possible. So also for cleaning, it's very handy.
Yeah. I can already see that. One thing, when I have to admit, I looked into the device before, so I cheated a little bit.
Really?
So when I looked to the walls here, I realized they're quite thin compared to maybe other devices that are there. So I guess there's a high ratio of the platform size to the total footprint of the device, so you don't have a lot of controls on the side there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what I noted down is that this is actually the greatest platform size to footprint ratio in the market, and then we have up to 40% higher flask capacity, if I'm correctly informed. So what does that mean for specific vessel types?
Yeah, you said it already. I mean, it's well insulated, but the platform size to footprint is the best in the market, at least on the major devices we looked at. And from the vessel, I mean, typical flask size, Corning 125, it fits on sticky pad 102.
102. Okay,
and also with sticky pad, you have up to 8 Thomson or Corning 5-liter flasks.
Wow.
So the maximum flask size, maybe that is also important, is 5-liter Thomson or Corning. Or 7-liter Thomson.
7 liter.
It's a new one.
Okay, so I guess the big advantage, in addition to high throughput, is that you can do more runs in one experiment, right? So 102 flasks at one time means the same environment for all the flasks. So it's the comparability is better, right?
Right, and if you have a triple stack, you can set 1 to 37, 1 to 32 for expression, for instance. That's very common to reduce the temperature. Yes.
Okay, so should we take stuff out of the incubator?
Yes.
Or out of the device? So how does it work?
you can grab in like this because of the glide up door, plus also you can squeeze here the handle. So I move it down and I can slide out because the platform is sitting on a sub-platform. And when I move the handle down, the platform is automatically unlocked. So it's not that heavy. I can do it on our own, but then our audience cannot see. So
maybe we do it together then. Oh, it's light, of course. The flasks are not filled, so maybe we put it to the side. Quite light. Oh, we forgot the mushroom guiding system on the bottom. You want to show that as well? On the platform? Yes, we do that as well.
Let's show it.
We come back.
Yeah, I mean, we can also show it when we put it back. So it's when you put the platform back, you have here these silver mushrooms, we just call it now.
Yeah.
And so it's helping for positioning the platform again in the sub-platform. Really so you don't need any wobbling or positioning. So that's super easy to just set it back. Now we can
now we remove it to the side. And the slide out platform that we just see here is always included, or that's an option?
No, the slide out is standard. It's always included.
Oh, by the way, I just realized that the handle is not only unlocking the slide out platform, but also the platform itself, right?
Yes.
That's a dual purpose for the handle.
Exactly.
So when I want to clean something, I guess wipe disinfection is something that you have to routinely do in a cell culture lab. Any kind of recommendations? How often you have to do that for CO2 incubators, for example?
Weekly is a common time, or every 2 weeks. So, but for sure, when we go to biopharma, when you start a new project, you want to be sure that it's really clean. Yeah. And we have different options. Of course, wiping is easy, and you can also remove this sub-platform for that. And the other one, maybe you want to mention.
Yeah, I think we do that later. So. I suggest we take out the platform. How easy is that? How do we do that?
Yes. So we have here, for the water tank holder, it's good to have you because you have also a good place for the tool.
Hex wrench.
A hex wrench is a standard hex wrench, so if you lose it, you can also buy a new one easily or have one in the lab already.
Okay.
And I placed there another one because we have only 25 minutes here, so you can remove the platform easily by moving just 4 fasteners, and we do this now. Now some music will play.
Music in the background, but it was quite easy, I guess.
I'm a little bit slower, but it's just the 4 fasteners. Make sure to place back the tool on the right spot. And then with 2 persons, so I need you again.
Recommended.
We easily can take out the sub-platform.
Should we move that to this table here?
Yes. So what you can do, of course, is cleaning the sub-platform. There are not much screws on it. Wiping this. And then
put that to the side.
Put it on another table.
And then we have a nice look inside. It's, I would say, spectacularly unspectacular. There are no, I don't see any cables in there. Where's the fan? Where's the heating system?
That's exactly the good thing for mammalian culture because it's prone to contamination. And we have integrated the CellXpert CS220, which you also know already. The seamless chamber design made from stainless steel. And of course, here on the right side, you have the sensors, the humidity sensor, the CO2 sensor, plus also you have an access port if you have any external sensors you want to place into it. And we have here the steam humidification entrance and a light, of course.
And I realize there's no cover sheet on the back, so nothing that hides any kind of heating system that's really hard to clean, so I guess it's really straightforward and done fast, right? And stainless steel, is the standard for CO2 incubators right now, right?
It's good. Hygienic.
Very, I guess, very easy to clean. Also, I don't see any weld seams in here, no corners, so no,
I mean, we can.
not much hiding space for
I can show you
contaminants. And
shortly. Imagine me in a coat and with some gloves. So you have here rounded corners everywhere. Make sure, of course, do not spray on the sensors.
yeah, okay.
But we go much
But
into detail
now I
now.
realize, okay, this is also a real advantage of having the door out of the way, so you don't have to reach over that folding door to reach the back of the device, right? So I guess really fast and efficient wipe disinfection, but most of the devices in the market, I don't know if that's true for all of the devices, have UV light disinfection. I guess it's more for microbial shakers here. But one thing that's really unique for this device or for all of the CO2 shakers in the market is a 180-degree disinfection, right? Like we have for a lot of CO2 incubators in the market, but not for shakers. And this is the first one, right?
Challenging to develop, but we have it. So our engineers did a really good job. And 180 degrees. I mean, we have 120 with the S41i and holding it for a longer time, but 180 degrees sterilization also kills dormant stages like bacterial spores or some some viruses.
Viruses as well. Okay, so that's the main difference, I guess, to UV light inside the chamber. Where
UV is also very effective, but usually with UV is the issue that you have it not on all spots. So it's
either in the chamber or in the airflow.
180 degrees is on all in chamber parts. Same with wipe disinfection. Ethanol, of course, is not effective to all contaminants.
And the 180 degrees are for 2 hours, right? The holding time?
The holding time is 2 hours and the whole procedure is then overnight. Yeah.
Okay, can you explain us how this procedure works then? So we have done the wipe disinfection and afterwards I want to do the 180 degree sterilization. How does it work?
Yes, so you have it here right in the front, the disinfection button. You go into the screen and there you have the option wipe disinfection or high temperature disinfection, and it's a wizard, so you're absolutely safe to do the right steps. I will
for standardization in the lab, I guess.
Yeah, it's also for safety standardization,
Mm-hmm.
and there is also one point. So the wipe disinfection, everything what we just did is also described to not do any errors. Plus also it says in the end, that is what you have to do. The only thing you have to do is to cover the relative humidity sensor with a cap. Maybe you know it from the C170i, it's the same. Mm-hmm.
And what about the platform, clamps, anything, accessories?
Good that you say that. Everything can stay inside. If you work with sticky pad or some accessories like the test tube holders, so take non-heat resistant accessories out. Of course, also the cultures, and
But what about
everything can stay inside. Sub-platform, the platform.
The clamps also, you know that usually when you're working with higher volumes, you have those girdles for the clamps.
We have new clamps for the CS220 made from stainless steel, and you can leave them in.
Oh, they're also resistant. So sterilization for universal platform, the clamps. And part of the other accessories, right?
Just the cover
for
the
sterilization.
RH
so, okay, I imagine you're in some kind of training lab or you have trainees there. I've seen on the starting screen there's also there's the button. I just realized how easy it was for you to start it. So how do you make sure that there's no accidental start of the sterilization routine?
For this, we have the option to two options. One very simple one is to put a screen lock, for instance, but everybody can unlock this, so that's not very helpful. But we have user management, so you can give restricted rights. It also comes with it.
Okay, yeah.
So if you can avoid that somebody accidentally start the disinfection.
Okay, that's really helpful. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And after the sterilization, once everything is done, you get any kind of documentation in there?
Exactly. So when you look at the screen now, We have also, of course, the display says, or the screen says it's run successfully, and then you have also the chance to extract a performance protocol, and it is indicating the model number, serial number, plus also start and end duration and the maximum temperature, and the most important, that it was successful, and you can subscribe it and put it to your documentation.
And I also see there's a field for a signature, right? So
Exactly.
somebody has to take the responsibility for signing that. Okay, now it complains it's not properly
Yeah, the
hooked
door
up
is
here.
long door opening.
Okay. I guess we covered everything. Anything that we forgot, Ines, before we go to the question part?
I think.
I think we got it all, right?
got
Maybe
it
we'll
all.
realize when we look into the chat, right? So I will move over here to the computer and have a look at the questions in the chat. My colleague unlocks her laptop here. Let's see how many questions we have. All right. Oh yes, there are some good ones. Yes, let me start with this one here. Okay, I guess the first one is really easy because we already covered this. Is the platform also autoclavable?
Yes, it is.
Straightforward.
Easy
Yes,
one,
it is.
easy one, yes.
Okay. Insect culture. We talked about mammalian cells. What about insect culture?
The CS220 has no refrigeration, so the spec is 8 degrees above ambient to 60 degrees, but we have, for instance, in our beta testing, we had also a customer doing an XP protocol for insect cells, so that worked as well.
So
it's on your lab environment, you need air condition. Yeah.
Okay, you need to make sure you have the right temperature,
Yes.
right?
And okay, the CO2, of course, you can, it comes with CO2 and with humidity control. Humidity is often required. If you don't need CO2, you can also not, you just don't use it.
So answer for insect culture depends, right? It
Exactly.
depends on the culture conditions.
But make sure the temperature in the room is adequate.
Okay, I see. Another question that we have, what kind of water is recommended to use with the tank? It's quite a specific question, technical, so what kind of water?
Yeah, maybe good point, because I think I just said water. So yes, it is of course also in the manual, so reverse osmosis water or distilled water is good, and we give also the specification of the water in the manual, so don't use tap water, please.
I'll move myself here to the laptop to come closer. Look at other questions that we have. I have to choose wisely what we can answer now. Plates. Can I cultivate plates as well? Can I use the system, what is it called? Dudes in it?
Yes, of course. I think we had a tube holder, so tubes, I also didn't mention, flasks, of course, tubes, and also plates you can use. And of course, the device is also, fits also the system. It's I think we have the blue one here.
Yeah, so blue one down there.
Most know the color. I think it's still blue. Yeah.
So that's for plates. Yeah. So answer is yes, you can cultivate plates as well. Also, quite technical question, I guess. Can the device be connected to a building management system, short BMS?
Yes. In the back, you have two relays. So you have two relay ports. So you can connect it to a building management system and know that it's, for instance, temperature and CO2 error. So you can. Ethernet is also there. Yes.
Okay. I just realized time is running, so if we have any other questions that we didn't answer yet, just put them into the form. We will answer that later on. Before we close, I will do a short summary, which you can see on the screen here. So during the last couple of minutes, you have seen that we have up to 40% higher flask capacity. You can have a look at your individual flask format. The device saves lab space, because it has the greatest platform to footprint ratio in the market. Of course, a unique feature, 180-degree sterilization, which is the standard for CO2 incubators, is also available now for CO2 incubator shakers, includes a wizard and a downloadable performance protocol. We have the Eppendorf X Drive, which has been proven and tested in the market. It's in there since years. We have a stainless steel chamber, which is a standard for hygienic design. There are no drive wheels, no crevices, no cover sheets, cables, heating fins, or anything else like this inside. So very easy to clean. Complete control, remote monitoring, so you can see everything at a glance. You can do remote monitoring and a lot of other really nice things with our Visionized Lab Suite system. And we have a powerful evaporation protection up to 85% relative humidity with our humidification system. So, if you want to see the CellXpert CS220 live, or if you have any kind of questions, if you want a quote, if you require anything, just let us know. Just click on the link that you will receive during or after this recording here. With this, we are at the end of this presentation here. I would like to thank you, Ines, for taking your time. I know that you're very busy. Thank you very much. We are all looking forward to see you at the next events at the Eppendorf Lab Channel. You can check them out at eppendorf.com/lab channel as one word. On behalf of Ines and all the Eppendorf Lab Channel team, we say thank you, goodbye, have a nice evening, morning, wherever you are, and see you next time.